Welcome back, secret agents. We are on another mission. This mission is taking us to London, England in 1826. So we are time traveling. Now I know that's Victorian-ish time period of England, and you're thinking, Sherlock Holmes. But he's in the future for our characters because he came around, 1880 something. So he's in the future, not in 1826. But the interesting thing is this is the founding of the University of London, the year it was founded, 1826. And our character's neighborhood is in that area. She can see it from her hot air balloon, from the rooftop of her house. She's got a Georgian style terrace house. She's quite wealthy. And her governess has moved on. She's making her really upset because she's 11 years old and she's too old for a governess. And she's had this governess since she was born. So this person is leaving her life and that's making her quite upset. And now she's going to get a tutor. And this is what they would do then, because they didn't have schools quite the same way as we do today. And she's not looking forward to it because she thinks there's nothing a tutor can teach her, because the books have taught her everything. Books are, as I noted, some of her most important things. They give her comfort, their company, like friends, distractions, also like friends, and of course then she learns everything that she would ever need to know, all inside a book. Kind of loving her so far. What about you? Now, let me get into some more important details, which means I need my readers. Yes, those are my little glasses to put on so that way I can see what I wrote. The glaring light doesn't help me any. Okay, now our characters are Ada Bryan and Mary Shelley. Hopefully you might already know who these two people are because they are actual famous women. One wrote a very famous book. I hope you can find out what book she wrote. And the other one is considered the founder of computer coding. Yes. So computer science is all because of Ada. Now we, let's see, I've got some of my notes here. See, using my files and already done my annotation. Now, because I am using my Kindle for it, yes, my Fire tablet, which has Kindle on it, because I'm using that, I am limited to 5 colors. So I had to really focus in on what I could use for my annotations. So I have pink for Mary and Ada. So both of them will be highlighted in pink. I put blue for words. Green is going to be for any of the sciencey stuff and the inventions. And then I have yellow for interesting details, which, like I just showed you, the map of London where our story is taking place. That I highlighted already. And orange for clues because it is a mystery. So let's see here. Oh, there we go. Notes. Okay, now got my notes. Besides our neighborhood, which I have circled all those streets for you to check out, and you can do a Google map tour. We have the fact that she has a really hard time remembering the names of the people who work in her house. I don't know if it's because there's a rotation, like they come and go and they're not like, they don't keep the job for very long. Though it seems that Mr. Franklin does, or maybe she interacts more with Mr. Franklin than the others. Now, Coverlet, Miss Coverlet, who's getting married, her governess, of course, she's with her every day. So she remembers her name. This leads me to a question of, will she ever care enough to remember the names of the people who really, truly feed her? Which then leads me to another question. Where are her parents? Yeah. Okay, now let's see. We've got, chapter 1. This is where all this information came from for me. I'm wondering what information you'll discover, but I have this interesting thing about how she is hiding in the balloon, in the little gondola of the balloon, because it's small and safe, and it keeps her disconnected, because nobody can come up in there, because they'd have to like go through the attic and out the window and into the gondola, which most adults wouldn't do. That wouldn't feel very safe. So she is in a place where she is unreachable, which means that she is detaching herself from the emotions of the situation. And she didn't really say a proper goodbye to Mrs. Coverlet. Miss Coverlet, not Mrs. I don't know who she's going to become a Mrs. to. We didn't find out his name. But that's what's happening. And I thought it was interesting that she is dealing with her emotions, or not dealing with her emotions. I wonder how often she avoids emotions throughout this story. And will that help her solve the mystery? Because she does like to think logically. My other questions, besides the two about the ladies and their names, she kept calling them by like food names, like arugula, and I can't remember the other one. Oh, I'm almost as bad as she is. And then my next question is, again, this is the end of chapter 1. Who's at the front door? Is it going to be her tutor or someone else? And who's her tutor going to be? Like, what kind of tutor is she going to get? She's in a neighborhood where this is very special, because again, this time period, girls and women didn't have the same education as men and boys. And they're in a neighborhood where intellect matters, radical thinking matters, and she's going to be able to explore a little more normal than someone who was just a couple miles away. Also, her income level does influence her abilities here. So that also makes it a special place and time period for this character. And I think that plays into this a lot, because if she had been just a few miles away, there's going to be a lack of open-mindedness. This intellectual hub is really important for the story's setting. Now, go check out chapter 1 if you haven't finished reading it yet, and make some notes. You can make them in your Kindle, in your book, or in your debriefing file. And I will see you soon. Oh, and if you want, limited seats are available, but the book club starts up really soon. Check out the website, find out the dates. We have 5 dates, 4 books, and our Jeopardy style showdown or face off. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to make some crafts inspired by her science, the time period, and all the things. There's going to be a hot air balloon. Well, not hot air, it'll be a paper one, but it's going to be really cool. And I will see you all for debriefing for chapter number 2. Coming soon.